Hello there, lovely people, it's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and welcome back to Alex Asks. And last time, I asked you lovely lot, where would you like to explore? What new locations would you like to see in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? But before we get onto that, I just really quickly just want to say, thank you so much to everyone out there, because over the weekend, we reached 100,000 subscribers on my birthday of all things. It was the best birthday present I could ask for. Well, the second best, but there's something pretty special. That's exceptional. In the future, I will be doing a much more substantial thank you video when we get the silver play button and everything like that, but it's the first video where we got 100,000. Just wanted to say thank you. But anyway, here's just what a few of you had to say. The True Villager says, I want to visit many villages. Apart from the standard Kakariko, to be honest, it'd be great to see so many. We have seen multiple ones in the trailers, so fingers crossed, and surely Hyrule Castle will be there, but this time I actually want to go properly inside it, not just on the grounds. I wholeheartedly agree. I'm almost as excited, maybe even as excited as you are to explore all the brand new villages, and it's just going to expand the world so tremendously and make it feel much more alive and vibrant. I mean, in the past we've had, sort of scatterings of stuff, but it's never really felt that organic, so this is going to be a really lovely thing to explore. So I'm just excited, that's all. Pokelink64 says, I really want to explore snowy mountains and swamps in Breath of the Wild. We've had a few snowy mountains in the past, I think. We've definitely had, Snowcap back in Majora's Mask. That was one of them. Have we had any others than that? Probably. But swamps, that's an interesting thing. We haven't had many of them. We had one... Oh yeah, again, we had one in Majora's Mask. The only one I thought of when I picked that comment, when Errol picked that comment, was the one in Link's Awakening on Koholint Island or something. I can never remember how you pronounce it. Hunter says, I want to explore Link's pockets and see how he holds all of those items. I do hope you're trying to be literal there and not trying to be a bit cheeky. Andre Wilson says, hey Alex, I'm hoping to explore a forest like the Everwoods in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. That would be lovely. You've got my vocabulary down to a T, haven't you? That's a really interesting idea, actually, to have some sort of procedurally generated woodland and things like that, where it's different every time you go in, and you sort of you'd have to go into it rather than just wandering. Oh, you could do it with the Lost Woods, couldn't you? That would be interesting. That would be a strange way of doing it. Or better yet, why not a dungeon like the thing in Wind Waker, on Outset Island, the big head that you blow up and you go down and there's all those monsters and everything, and you have the little checkpoints and everything like that. Imagine that, but with like procedurally generated rooms and procedurally generated enemies. Well, at least the groups of them. I'm not talking about random enemies every time. That would be complicated. Citrus simply says, I want to explore Alex's cellar, which is a little bit concerning that somebody would want to explore my cellar, and I hope you're being literal again there, but I don't have a cellar, so I mean, you can do if you want, but you'd be looking bloody hard. Tim Bartier, or Bartier, says, one of my favourite parts of Wind Waker is when you enter the Temple of Time and it's all black and white as it's locked in time. Likewise, I love the way the Shadow Realm was done in Skyward Sword. It would be cool if there was some item that allowed you to flip the world to the past or something and let you experience the vast worlds in a different way like those. Those sort of duality of worlds is something that has come up in Zelda a lot, and I suppose it could sort of work, maybe not, sort of like you actually go there, but maybe something like the Lens of Truth, where you look through the Sheikah Slate or something, and it's a special rune and you can see the world, you can see things that you couldn't see before. I think that would be really cool. That would sort of solve it without having to have the whole sort of dual worlds thing all over again, which is great, but it's kind of boring, because I just said it's great. What I meant to say is it's great, but it's been done before, and, sort of maybe move on. But something like the Lens of Truth that allows you to see things that you couldn't otherwise, I think that is something I'm on board with. Dabis Joshi says, Breath of the Wild had better have a bunch of those great fairy fountains from OOT. I want this partly because Ocarina of Time is the only decent Zelda game I own, and because Nintendo can dish out a lot of fan service from HD remodels of the Great Fairy themselves. I can't really think what games you've got that would make Ocarina of Time the only good one, because Zelda games are on the whole really good. I mean, maybe if it was like Link's Crossbow Training or you had one of the CDI games, then I could understand that. I also can't really get on board with the idea of fan service in the form of the Great Fairies, because they're not really. They're blocky, they've got weird noses. No, they're kind of hideous. Tom Meow says, supposing Breath of the Wild takes place towards the beginning or the end of Zelda, I want to explore Kakariko Village. I think it would be interesting to see if they also managed to include the creepy dungeon at the bottom of the well. My pants would not be ready for anything remotely as horrific as an HD dead hand. I think Kakariko's pretty likely, to be honest with you, but talking about the bottom of the well, my girlfriend recently played through Ocarina of Time for the first time on the 3DS, and I was there when she got to Dead Hand, and well, I can't say exactly what she said, but it was something along the lines of, "Oh, crumbs and blimey, what is that?" That thing was just like an almost perfect depiction of horror. I'd like to see it come back, actually, just because of that. I like creepy stuff. I'm weird. Hello. Khaled Bravo says, I want to explore the Eastmost Peninsula. I hear it has the secret. Well, now it's not a secret to everyone, is it? You've gone and ruined it. You've spoiled it for everyone. Caleb, why? Seriously though, I think it would be great to have like a little Easter egg or something like that. If there is some sort of Eastmost Peninsula, you go over there and there is actually a secret there, and you know, it's something you'd never think of, somewhere you'd never think about going to, and you go there and there's actually a secret. That would be great. That would be a really nice little subtle reference to, what was it, Zelda 2? Pretty sure it was Zelda 2. Yeah, it was. Scroogegasm says, in Breath of the Wild, I want to explore Luigis Mansion, which is an area 20 minutes into the game where Waluigi kidnaps you and you play as him for the rest of the game. I've just got this wonderful image of Waluigi running around the gigantic Hyrule, just going around going, wah! Also, the game over screen, you just go, wah! Everybody cheating but me! I make myself laugh. Darth Lobster says, what I want for Breath of the Wild is a mini-game where wherever you go to sleep or heal or whatever, you end up in an HD remaster of Koholint Island from Link's Awakening, and you have to wake up the Windfish. It would be a mini-game because Koholint Island is so much smaller than Hyrule is in Breath of the Wild. I'm assuming this is a very outlandish idea because that would be kind of cool, but also really annoying for anybody who died frequently or had to heal frequently or stuff like that. I love Koholint Island. I love Link's Awakening, and I'd love to see the Windfish make a return, but I'm guessing that was a joke. Polmo Play Gamer says, the toilet. I want to know where the hand comes from. That is, if you'll pardon the pun, hands down one of my favourite parts of Majora's Mask, and just one of the weirdest, because if you don't know, if you go into the toilet in the Stockpot Inn on a certain night, I believe it's the night of the second day, not entirely sure about that, then there's this toilet, and on that night, this hand pops out of it and goes, oh! Oh! And it's really weird. You give him some paper and he goes, yay! And it's just ridiculous. And finally, Zelda Legend says, I might do more burning than exploring, : P. But if one wishes to burn new things, then surely one must journey to new areas and explore. Think about it. Massive thanks to everybody who left a comment. Unfortunately, I can't read all of your comments out because there are just so damn many of you now. But you do have a chance to get one of your comments read out in the next episode. And so my question for you this week is, what new features do you want to see in the supposed new Pokemon game on the Switch, Pokemon Stars? In case you don't know, quick bit of context, Pokemon Sun and Moon are out on the 3DS, and there are rumors going around, which are fairly well supported, that there is going to be a third version called Pokemon Stars coming to the Switch. And obviously the Switch is far more powerful than the 3DS, or at least we assume so. It's running Breath of the Wild. So what new features do you want to see? Let your minds run wild and let us know what you think down there in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you set fire to that subscribe button in the most fantastical way possible, killing as many bokoblins in the process as you possibly can, and be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. Scroogegasm says, in Breath of the Wild, I want to explore Kakariko Village.